Today, we're looking at Delta Black. Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm an ink guy. I get inks, test them, and share the results with you. Now, down below in the description, there's timestamps of all the parts of the video. And if you are in a hurry, you can skip around. But if you got the time, I'd appreciate you if you check out the entire video. You can also follow me over on Instagram. And if you're new here and like ink reviews, I would invite you to subscribe. To make sure I have a range of experience with this ink, I do the writing samples. I then put the ink into this Pilot vanishing point, wrote with it for a day, and used it to take the notes for this video. For the first writing sample, I use Clairfontaine, Tomoe River, and Rhodia paper. There are additional writing samples later in the video. Now, let's look at the writing sample. I had picked this ink up in sample form, and to keep my writing samples consistent, I use a Jinhao 159 with a Goulet 1.1 stub, a Jinhao X450 with a Goulet medium, and a Jinhao X750 with a Goulet extra fine. Let's take a look at the Clairfontaine. We get no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade. The extra fine is the same tone as the 1.1 with no feather, spread, halo sheen, or shade, 6 seconds to dry. The medium is the same tone as the extra fine and the stub with no feather, spread, halo sheen, or shade, 11 seconds to dry. Now the scrubby for both shows no color variation. We didn't expect it, and we didn't get it. Rhodia, no bleeding, normal Rhodia ghosting. Tomoe River. Tomoe River has no bleeding, normal Tomoe River ghosting. The 1.1 is no feather, spread, halo sheen, no shade. The extra fine is the same tone as the 1.1 with no feather, spread, halo sheen, or shade, 9 seconds to dry. The medium is the same tone as the extra fine and the stub with no feather, spread, halo sheen, or shade, 21 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both shows no color variation. We didn't expect it, and we didn't get it. Rhodia has no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 is no feather, spread, halo sheen, or shade. The extra fine gives us the same tone as the stub with no feather, spread, halo sheen, no shade, 5 seconds to dry. The medium gives us the same tone as the extra fine and the stub with no feather, spread, halo sheen, or shade, 14 seconds to dry. Scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it. We didn't get it. We're getting a very consistent ink. I agree with Vita. I've learned a lot by doing multiple chromatographies. The one on the left is done the way it's supposed to be done. I put a line of ink down and immediately put it into water for 10 to 15 seconds. And this is very interesting because this is a blue and a very dark purple making this black. When you see that light blue line across the bottom, and then there's a separation, and we see purples into the black, which is what gives this black its depth. Now, the one on the right, I let dry for 10 minutes before I dunk it into water. And if it wasn't for the letter D on the filter paper, I would not be able to tell which chromatography was which. So I'm not expecting any real resistance here. Resistance tests are done to see how well this ink can be expected to perform on the page, and more importantly, how hard it may be to clean from your pen. Now, I let the smear dry for 3 days before testing it. Looking at the highlighter, it blew up. It just died with the highlighter. Don't highlight. That was a one pass on the highlighter and it's gone. So you could use a highlighter to erase the page, I guess. Water, now having seen the highlighter, gives you exactly what you expected. It's completely removing it from the paper. You shouldn't need anything more than water to get this out of your pen. Now, Pen Flush does everything that water does because water does everything. You don't need the extra chemicals of Flush to get this out of your pen. The 1/3 bleach solution, as would be expected, completely obliterates it, and there is no need to use a 1/3 bleach solution to get this out of your pen. I test the viscosity or flow using a tilt test, which I'm going to link the video showing how I do that. For the inks I've tested, I have found an average viscosity of 2.5, with the realm of normal being from 2.1 to 2.9. Delta's Black has a viscosity of 2.68, making it normal. To find my average dry times, I use my writing samples. Now, for the inks I've tested, I found an average dry time of 17 seconds, with the realm of normal being from 13 to 21 seconds. Delta's Black has an average dry time of 11 seconds, making it just a little bit faster. Instead of finding inks that look like Delta Black, I would prefer to find an ink that complements its color on the page. Now, this is a nice dark black, and I wanted something that really offset it like a pink. I went with Diamine Cerise. The second writing sample is done on Fabriano Eco Qua, the Apica CD notebook, and the Mimicine notebooks. This is a great opportunity just to show the fact that, while I'm putting 6 samples out, I'm really, put the 3 I'm going to use, I am using a ton of different papers just to go ahead and find different ones each time to go ahead and pull out. The writing samples take quite a long time because I do so many different types of paper. So I'm choosing paper sometimes to show the paper, which I haven't shown a lot, like right here, Fabriano Eco Qua. Not a paper I've used an awful lot of on this channel, but a paper I very much enjoy. It has no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. The extra fine gives the same tone as the stub with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. 3 seconds to dry. The medium has the same tone as the extra fine and the stub with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade. 9 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both shows no color variation. We didn't expect it and we didn't get it. One of the things I like about this paper is it tends to have a little bit faster dry times than normal, and it tends to really be able to tame difficult inks. Apica CD paper. Now, another paper that doesn't get to show up here very often. It has no bleeding, no ghosting. Another paper I love very much for how it feels, although if you have a buttery smooth nib, the Apica CD sometimes is a little too smooth for a buttery smooth nib. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade. The extra fine is the same tone as the 1.1 with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. 5 seconds to dry. The medium has the same tone as the extra fine and the stub with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. 18 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show no color variation. We didn't expect it and we didn't get it. And the last paper that does not get to show up very often is the Mimicine notebook paper. One of my favorites, just so expensive. It's the only problem I have with it. No bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. The extra fine has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. 4 seconds to dry. The medium is the same tone as the extra fine and the stub, with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. 15 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it. We didn't get it. And that is all that I have for the writing sample. So what do I think of Delta Black? This is a good, consistent black ink. It's boring to look at because it's consistent and it has no shading, which is good. What pen and nib give you the best writing experience here? It's so consistent, it's dealer's choice. It doesn't matter. They're always gonna look good with this ink. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and thanks for watching.